All right, Huge Movie Fanatics, continuing our quest for No Man's Gone Before, where no one's gone, never, we haven't been there. Series of Star Trek movies with Star Trek 4. Was it called The Voyage Home?
The Voyage Home.
Which a
stupid title.
It is kind of a dumb title. But this is a very good Star Trek movie. I mean, this is, for me, it's kind of like, it's like 2, 4, 6, kind of like you have a, I mean, people regard 1, I like 1, but people regard 1 as being crap, 2 good, 3 not as good, 4, and then 5, and then it's like every other one,
yeah.
You know, so it's not, they just, they realized that maybe 2 was great and 3 maybe wasn't as good, so for whatever reason, they make 4 amazing, and this is, for me, an easy 4 stars, and what's ironic is when I was a kid, one thing I really liked about Star Trek was like the Enterprise. You know, it was a big part of Star Trek for me as a sci-fi geek and a science or a visual effects fan. I loved the Enterprise, and one thing that I didn't like being a kid about 4 is there's no frickin' Enterprise. But being as an adult, I mean, you can see why. But being as an adult, that's fine. The idea that they commandeer the bird of prey, which also was, I think, introduced in the 3rd one. Is that
it's
correct?
The one that they stole at the end of the movie.
Right, and they're still on that. You know, 3 and 4 have this great continuationness, like Halloween.
Yeah, 1, 3, and 4, or 2, 3,
they
and 4
like
are a trilogy,
yeah.
and then 6 is just sort of thrown in as the cap of the trilogy.
So again, this is, I think, you know, Spock wasn't really a part. I mean, he was, but let's face it, he really wasn't a part of 3. And this is a great way to actually meet Spock again for the first time, and a lot of the humor that they put into it, being based on the fact that he's been gone, is very great humor. This is probably, what, the best Star Trek humor, well, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, this is the funniest Star Trek.
I mean, this is just like, holy shit, and I think this movie was really well received. And the thing I liked about it was that it was just so different than anything before. They've gone back in time in the series, into the West, and all kinds of stuff like that. But
they even slingshot around the sun in one of the episodes of the original series.
Oh, do they? So that's an established time traveling thing. So, oh, my brain. You know, we're getting towards the end of reviews, and my brain is running low here on RPMs. But what was I saying? Anyway, it's a really competent movie, and the whole idea of the saving the whale, that was kind of a big thing, I think, at the time, or something like that.
Yeah, the whaling industry.
So that was a good, what's the word?
Political?
Yeah, I don't like, I was going to say that word, but, well, I can't find it this far into our batch of reviews, I can't find the word, but a good, we might as well just say political, good and political, those 2 words just don't go together, but it was a good symbolic statement just about, I guess, just the Earth in general and stuff like that. And again, it was really just a great idea. Who the hell came up with that idea? It was great.
It was Nimoy's, I think.
And oh, we didn't even comment that Nimoy helmed the 3rd one. Yeah. And I think Nimoy is a pretty good director. And with this one, he's really great. I think that.
Yeah. And Nicholas Meyer came back to do some of the writing, as did Harv Bennett, who wrote the 3rd movie, and Nimoy.
Why don't you continue off and you know, you can get my brain turning again.
Alright, so this one I really like. This was after 3, back when I watched them, and originally I was just like, maybe 2 was just like the oops of the bunch. So then I watched 4. And, man, that was an enjoyable movie, and I really liked it back then. Now my review hasn't changed. It's stayed exactly the same as it was then. I watched this a couple times. I've seen this one relatively recently. I think that the sense of humor is the saving factor of the movie. They needed to switch from where they were going. One was this sort of lumbering, we need to show you what this special effects can do, and we have a decent story on top of, or underneath it. Number 2 is we have this great emotional story. Number 3, they're trying to mimic that emotional story, but it's not really there. Let's go for a switch. Let's not make it dark anymore. Let's make it fun and light, because Star Trek sometimes is fun and light.
Just make it a fun and light episode.
And that's exactly what it was. And man, it was entertaining. And all the way through, except for the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes of this movie are so tedious.
Yeah,
it's so tedious, and it's so much like you're sitting there and you're sort of fighting sleep. But then once they decide to, or once they get the transmission that Earth is going to be destroyed and they need to commandeer the ship to slingshot it around the sun, that's when the movie kicks into gear, and suddenly it's like, oh, thank God, this movie isn't going to suck.
Oh, the court-martial, never mind. That thing's at the end of 4, not the beginning, because they're not on Earth at the beginning.
No.
Never mind.
But they do talk about it in the beginning.
Oh, the people on Earth talk about Kirk?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Fairly, yeah, because in the beginning you see that shot, which you see in 2 and 3 of the Genesis planet thing. They're like, that was, fun fact, that was Pixar. That was their first thing.
Holy shit on the planet.
Yeah, so that was Pixar's first animated video. Lucasfilm. They weren't Pixar at the time, they were Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm did something for Star Trek?
Lucasfilm Animations, yeah.
Holy shit.
And I think this was the first one that was mixed in Skywalker sound, yeah.
Oh yeah, ILM did all the effects for I think 2 and 3 and 4,
yeah.
so...
Anyway, but once the first 15 minutes are over, the movie kicks into high gear and it stays fun and entertaining all the way through. I really dig all the little adventures that they're going on. I love the Chekhov walking around the streets of San Francisco. Where are your nuclear vessels?
And he's Russian.
And he's Russian, yeah.
Something.
And the cop just looks at him. That's great. The punk guy that Spock does the nerve pinch on. All that stuff is just really entertaining. And I like the swearing, the double dumbass on you. Things like that. That's just great.
Well, the greatest thing in the world is, well, there's so many, but one of them is the something with that woman in the truck or something. Mm-hmm. Don't they swear? Doesn't Kirk...
Yeah, he just starts swearing.
I think
it's just so wrong the way he swears.
I can't remember. There's something... no, Spock is the hell I'm not, or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or the one great part is, do you like Chinese? Yes, no, yes, no, yes. I love Chinese, and so do you.
Yeah, I like that. Like, the movie was fun.
Yeah,
and that's what Star Trek needed after the previous movie.
You know what else is funny? Spock. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. And Bones, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I love that. Bones is my favorite character.
Perfect Bones.
Yeah.
Perfect Bones.
Bones has always been my favorite character. And
you know what? We haven't even said anything about DeForest Kelley. That man was a great man.
Yeah, he was. He was such a great...
I think that, we were just, we were just seeing him. I think we were just seeing him, I mean, just, I don't know. Great.
Yeah, he is. He really is great. I mean, I just love this movie. It's so fun. The whales, the special effects are great. That weird tube thing with the ball at the end, right. That is such a cool shot. I don't even know really how they did it or anything. It's just kind of cool. And I love the sound of the whales and stuff like that. I liked it.
I'd say one of my only complaints is maybe what do you think of the score?
The score isn't strong. It's not
weird?
Bad. It's just not strong.
Well, it's this guy. He's worked forever, and one of the earliest things I can think he's done is he did. I can't even remember his name right now, but he did Fantastic Voyage. In the '60s. I think he might have done stuff even before. He did RoboCop 2. I can't remember his name, but he's got a really. It's kind of it's a weird sound, and it's like, oh, he also did this movie I kind of like called 1979 called what was it called? It's the same title like Christopher Walken one, Prophecy, okay. But it's a monster movie. Yeah. He's got a big, huge sound, but it's just a weird sound.
It's not necessarily great.
Yeah, the movie would have been probably just so much better if Horner had come back. God. Just imagine if if he could have done the last
again, or Goldsmith again.
Yeah, yeah. That's, for me, one of the only bad things about 4 is the guy who did the music. It's just a little off.
He kills it a little bit.
For me, yeah, it's just a little off.
So at the end of the day, I give it 3.5.
Oh, 3.5. I already did it, right? I already said, this is 4 stars.
I'm going to go 3.5 just because that first lumbering 15 minutes.
That's cool. Well, I go 4. So there you have it. That's pretty much our take on Star Trek 4, the Voyage Home.
Voyage Home.
I don't know. What else would you have called it?
Save the whales.
That might have been worse than Voyage Home.
Slingshot around the sun.
Star Trek 4, Save the Whales. Just like Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Superman, or Star Trek Back in Time, or something like that.
Back to the Future.
Back to the 80s.
Yeah, Star Trek 4 Back.
This was
anyway,
before Back to the... No, this was right
this
after.
was after Back to the Future.
Yeah, 1 year.
So that's probably where they got the idea for this movie.
Certainly.
So there you go. That about ends our batch of reviews for this session. We're going to continue, the rest of the Star Treks next time.
Yeah.
And only Matt can tell when next time will be. Probably, maybe don't expect anything in January. Maybe.
Hopefully January I'll have some availability because they're going to be dropping the heavy work hours too.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, we can hope. But
fingers crossed.
So far, the last 3 have been every other month. So
Yeah.
don't hold out for January. Hopefully, if nothing else.
Hopefully we'll have reviews for Django Unchained. We'll have
Nate's
reviews.
going to review Chainsaw 3D. Matt might not see it in time.
Probably not. We'll have a best of and worst of the year.
Yeah, we're going to save the best of and worst of 2012 for next year.
Because I know I'm going to be
Just
seeing more movies.
Because we're going to see Django. Yeah, because we're
We're
going
going to see
Django.
Django. I'm going to be seeing Silver Linings Playbook, The Life of Pi. There's some other ones. I'm seeing.
So Matt had this good idea just to wait and do best of in 2015, which only makes sense.
I'm confident there's a better movie out there.
Probably is. All right. Well, until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, thanks to the old subscribers and the new subscribers for subscribing. We appreciate that, and we try as hard as we can to get together as often as we can. Well, I do, and I guess Matt probably does.
Yeah, I
don't know
do
if
too.
you slack or you try.
I try.
Okay. He tries. We both try to get together as often as we can, but we appreciate everyone's viewing. Like I say, people watch
Yeah.
give or an average of 100 views a month, which for us is pretty good.
Pretty good, and now we're going to be doing some more relevant mainstream stuff with, we have Hobbit, and we have the Star Wars, and now Star Trek reviews and stuff. We'll probably be getting a bunch this time around.
What are you talking about?
Like, getting viewers, like...
Right. We did a bunch of current relevant
relevant
stuff.
things.
I see my brain's dead, so as you can tell, it's a good time to quit. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.
Peace.
Thanks for watching. Even if it wasn't time to quit, it's time to quit.
Pretty much.